How is chaos described in myth? What image comes to mind when you hear the word chaos? Most people probably imagine a world filled with confusion and disorder, where everything is mixed together without order. That is why chaos is often understood in a negative way. However, the concept of chaos in science is somewhat different. Chaos theory explains that even when something appears disordered on the surface, hidden principles and patterns still exist within it. The results are simply so complex that humans cannot easily trace the process behind them. When early humans first appeared in the world, what do you think they were most curious about? They probably wanted to know where humanity came from. It is much like how children wonder how they were born. Today, thanks to advances in science, we can explain that sperm and egg cells combine to form a fertilized egg, which then develops through cell division into a human being. But people in prehistoric times did not possess such scientific knowledge. Early humans did not know what the origin of the world or the beginning of all things looked like. In an age without scientific knowledge, people had no way to explain how the world was created. So they used their imagination to create myths. They invented stories about how the sky and the earth came into existence, why humans exist, and where the gods came from. These kinds of stories are called creation myths. What is interesting is that both Eastern and Western myths describe the beginning of the world in similar ways. Most myths portray the earliest world as dark and chaotic. In Eastern myths, the state of the world before creation is described like this. Heaven and earth had not yet separated, and everything was dark and without form. This condition, in which everything was mixed together, was called chaos. Lao Tzu also described a nameless and formless state as the beginning of all things. He believed that the world emerged from an undivided state. However, ancient people did not think of chaos as complete emptiness. Rather, they believed that it was a state filled with the hidden power to create a new world. In Eastern myths, chaos was sometimes compared to an egg. Inside an egg, the yolk and the white are mixed together. Although it is soft and formless, it contains the possibility that a chick may one day emerge from it. Ancient people believed that primordial chaos was similar. Within the darkness, two different energies were mixed together. One was light and clear, while the other was heavy and murky. Over time, the light and clear energy rose upward and became the sky, while the heavy and murky energy sank downward and became the earth. In other words, they believed that order emerged out of chaos. Similar ideas can also be found in Western myths. In Greek and Roman myths, the beginning of the world is also described as a vast space where formless things were mixed together. Likewise, the Bible explains that the world had not yet taken shape and that deep darkness covered the waters. It is fascinating that people from different cultures share such similar ideas. If we think about it, the idea that chaos can contain order sounds contradictory. Yet this idea is remarkably similar to the modern scientific concept of chaos. Even when something appears disordered, hidden patterns and order may still exist within it. Scientists also believe that the universe began about 13.8 billion years ago in an extremely chaotic state. Isn't it amazing that science and myths can share such similar ideas? We often think that only order is valuable. However, change and creation in the world often begin within chaos instead. A seed must split open in the soil for a sprout to emerge, and stars are also born from immense disorder. Human creativity also grows out of free and imaginative thinking. Perhaps early humans already understood this long ago. They may have known that greater possibilities lie hidden, not in a perfectly ordered world, but within chaos that has not yet taken shape.